I'm going to introduce now our speakers. We have from the Montenegrin opposition, effectively the leaders of the anti-Đukanović opposition in Montenegro, Kocha and Nebojša, who will talk from the perspective of an accession country that is already entering into a political and financial relationship with the EU. And then from Monica Macovei from the EPP, who's of course a well-known anti-corruption campaigner in Romania, and who can talk a little bit about what happens after you join, and whether it is indeed the case, as those idealistic Croats believed, that the very act of joining will address the flaws in your political system. Nebojša is a very brave man. He has campaigned for years exposing some improper dealings of the government and of cartel and business interests in Montenegro. He hasn't been shy of naming names, and in consequence he's had death threats, he's been assaulted, but he's carried on doing the primary work of a representative, an elected representative, namely to try and defend the interests of the general population against that of the cliques and cartels who, left unsupervised, will naturally assume positions of dominance. So, Nebojša, perhaps you could start this.
Thank you, Daniel. First of all, I would like to say thank you for organization of this press conference, Ms. Macovei, to participate in this conference. As maybe you know, Movement for Changes is opposition political parties, and we are fighting almost 10 years to change corrupted regime in Montenegro. Montenegro is only a candidate's country that never changed government on election. And today we are talking about former communists who lead country through transition process last 25 years. It's very specific, and we are facing with a lot of fundamental political democratic problems like fair democratic election, election frauds, etc., etc. And today we are here to present you a little bit different view about situation in Montenegro from angle of opposition party. Movement for Changes is part of the strongest opposition group in the parliament, and our presidential candidate won on presidential election, unfortunately, because election frauds and a lot of problems in election campaign. Today we have different president, but after that we organized protest demonstration, boycott of the parliament. It was political crisis in our country, and we are trying to fight for free and election, a normal political process in Montenegro without influence of different sides.
I believe that our assessment of the limitations of the European bureaucracy has been quite proper. Yet, we still believe that the process of European integration will produce at least this one first and basic result, namely establishing an environment suitable for holding the first fair and free elections. In the event of such elections, there is no doubt in our minds that our incompetent, corrupt and failed government would lose the popular vote, and we would finally have the opportunity to start implementing the reforms that would, in turn, accelerate the process of European integration. That was our simple plan. Unfortunately, we are waking up to the realization that our crucial partner in this reform path, the EU, with its inaccurate enlargement policy, has shown to be completely incapable of affording any support to our plans and efforts to start the substantial reforms in Montenegro.
Well, I want to say that we didn't come here to blame Commission. Actually, we came here to warn Commission that obviously the mechanism of enlargement policy is not good, is not efficient. Obviously, I mean, Montenegro is very, very good example for that, and that's basically our intention.
And Daniel, you said that if we create the right institutions, they will work. we created all the right institutions. And when I say we, it means all the countries in Central Eastern Europe and Balkans. We have ombudsman, we have courts, all judges are appointed for life. We have constitutional courts. All the institutions are there. That's not enough to work. People are most important. Whom you appoint, who is running the institution? Is that person independent here inside? Is that person professional? Is that person willing to risk? You sometimes have to take risk. And these people make a change. And that's again my example.
Of course, I agree 100% with you, Ms. McAuley. It's our problem. It's a problem of the Montenegro. And the role of opposition is to change government, to remove government in any country. But question is, how to break this mechanism? How to break this mechanism? Corrupted government, organize corrupted election, and elect corrupted government. This circle, how to break it? Is it possible in non-democratic environment establish independent institution? I think that it's first is democracy, then reforms. First we must fight for democracy, for free election. And then people can right to choose better option among parties. But today our people has no choice. I will give you one example. According to our law, people who lives out of the Montenegro more than 2 years cannot vote. They must live 2 years in Montenegro to take residential condition to participate in election. I have table from DPS, from my resources. It's secret documentation from leading party. Table with evidences that 8,000 persons without legal rights illegally voted for DPS. It's a small number for big countries, but in Montenegro we are talking about 2 MPs. 2 MPs in the Montenegro among DPS MPs seats as results of the illegally voting of the people who has no right, etc., etc., etc. Finally, we think, and I believe, deeply believe, that European Union institutions should work with country and should encourage pro-democratic forces, not just government, to fight for standard, how to reaching European Union standards. I cannot see these results. I agree with Mr. Ambassador, we are working together. I was first president of the special parliamentary body for European integration process. I was first president after our colleague Srđan Milić. And for 3 years as strongest criticism of the Đukanović government, I worked in the parliament together with colleagues from DPS to push European integration process and to promote the European integration process among people. But what's happened? We adopted everything, you know. We finished all of bureaucracy and I would like to say paper phase of the reforms. Adopted laws, adopted action plans, adopted new court bodies, new constitutional court, special prosecutor. We did everything. But what about results? Zero judgment about high corruption. Zero judgment about organized crime. Zero judgment about money laundering and financing terrorism. Zero. And on my position, I would like to say something is wrong. Not just in European Commission. Something is wrong in the Montenegro. Not just in the government. Something is wrong among opposition. And because that, now we are in the planning to organize demonstration, to call people to join opposition, to fight for free election, like our friends in Eastern Germany, in Poland, in the Czech, 1890, because we are only country that never changed government. Mr. Đukanović started career as member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party, 88. And all of leaders of my country are former communists, high officer of the Communist Party. They accept new rules, they change sweets, but they keep communist ideology and communist manners how to lead country. And because that, I think that my people deserve chance. I think that Montenegro deserves chance to change things. It's our battle.